Hello everyone. So we're going to continue our configuration part. So we have built with the layer 2 topology. Everything pop up with the green means all the layer 2 connect up and working fine. Come let's see whether my interface are capable of the layer 3 configuration or layer 2. If it's layer 2, how to create the layer 3 interface. We will see all the. So let's start from router 1. I'm in the router 1 and we now the nomenclature. So this is LAN 1. Then what will be the IP for the PC? 192.168.1 LAN 1. LAN 21. Then 192.168.21. Like this you have your LAN IP. So I'm not going to use the IP as a what? Manual configuration. We're going to use the DHCP. We will make the router for every LAN. The router going to be DHCP. We'll see that this philosophy being a router for. So before going to doing that, first we will do the connectivity in the router between the gateway. Router called the gateway. So let's do the connectivity the gateway. So what going to be the nomenclature? So for between the router, the series will be 10 dot series, like 10 dot 0 dot. Let me show you. If we revise, so let's do the IP nomenclature so that you so quickly we will do that. So first we have router R1, we have router R2, we have router R3. You have to participate in this. We have serial connectivity. We have from here and then. Now we are talking about our LAN. We have this LAN. We have another LAN, two LAN with the R2. R1 having one LAN and R3 having. If you remember, the switch is given the LAN 21 name and this switch is given the name as a LAN 22. This switch given the name as a LAN 41 and this switch given the LAN 1. So what will be the LAN IP? As for LAN nomenclature, IP will be, yes, Jitendra, can you tell me what is the IP? Let me give the first IP. 192.168.1 dot means the same IP dot 1 will be the gate, right?
Yes. Yes.
Now go for the this LAN. Manmohan, can you give me the IP? What will be the IP for the LAN?
Sir, 192.168.21.x
Excellent. X means any number.
means any number.
First number will go to the router interface, the gateway.
Route.
Router interface, the gateway. For this LAN, who will be the gateway? Dot one will be the gateway. 192. Excellent, guys. So now you guys understand. So I'm not going to write entire IP. I will write 22.x means this another interface. Same way here. Same IP 31.x slash 20. First IP. So this is LAN API given LAN interface. What about between the router? Let me take another blue. Between this, what will be the IP for this interface connected to this interface? Yes, this is going to give by the whom? Manmohan. Give me that. IP will be 10.0.1.
No, sir, R1.
Yes, R1, R2. This interface
One,
from R1, R2
one, two.
Very good. 1, 2.
1 2, sir.
Yes. So 1, 2 dot 1 will be here, and here dot will be here, right? Because our clear.
Very good. Yes. Sure.
Now from
Yes, sir.
here, from now up come to this, I'm not going to use the complete IP. Give me what will be the subnet time Jitendri.
Yeah. 10.0.23.2 and 20.3.
23 dot what will be here?
3
3.
and
Excellent.
there is 2.
First state nomenclature. And this time again Jitendra you give me.
Yeah, there is a 13.1 and there is 13.3.
Wow, what will be this
10.0.
Manmohan? Mohan, what will,
13.1, sir.
Good.
now you understand?
Yes,
Yes,
So
yes.
sir.
let's start configuration. Power. So I'm going to configure only the router part. This part, 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 as well as the only the gateway part. But who will give the IP to the LAN, sir? Router, because I will make the router as a DSCP. So please go through the DSCP class. It's already explained in the entire detail method, even the packet level ISO, what protocol. Okay? So you understand. Today we have lab to how to configure the router connect as well as how you become the DSCP router going to become a DSCP for their lab, for their LAN. This is one option. Another option, you have dedicated DSCP on anywhere and you can assign that different you have DSCP. So we will see this option in coming upcoming classes. Okay. But today what we will see, router going to become the as a DSCP. Okay, understand?
Yes,
Yes,
Sajid.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Let's start. So this is the theory part. Let's do the practical. First, I am going to configure the IP. Then second part going to be happened. So I'm going to configure. So R1. So what interface? This gig interface, gig 0/0 is connected with the LAN. So what will be the IP? Now quickly you tell me. I'm on router 1 and interface gig 0/0/0 connected to the LAN. Let's give the description. Do you know descriptions? Descriptions give you this interface connected to whom. So you can see in the short form I connect to LAN 1. It's easy to remember. So if you see do show run interface gig 0/0/0. So will run by or run and then interface. Oh, this is not supporting, but real time you can see that. Okay, so here you have to do the running configuration. What you have to do? Running configuration. So you can see that on that interface, the description shows that it's a connected to LAN. This help you to by looking on interface the description what's there. So we will see that while we are going to configure the IP, we will do the basic stuff, hygiene, basic hygiene also. So gig 0/0/ connected to the LAN, then what will be the IP? Now it's easy. Tell me what will be the IP?
10 dot
No,
10
it's
dot
in 190 is connected to LAN, my dear.
okay, line 192 dot
So
168
192.168, very good. That's a
dot
1. And
oh,
this will be the gateway, will be 1.1.
yeah, right.
5 dot to 5 dot. Submit marks. So submit marks means says that slash 24 means there is a reserved and there is no change. Okay? And we will do notes that we have already know. So it is taken IP. Okay? So you do right. Now you can check so IP interface brief. Have the IP assigned this as a gateway. Now what is the second interface? It's connected to whom? Connected to, let me configure this second interface. So remember, try to understand these supposed to be, because if you want the lab you're supposed to understand description, sorry, and this use the tab, and this is connected to router 3. This interface connected to router 3. I don't connect R3. Remember, connect to R3. Give me the IP. This time one more I'm going to give 10 dot, tell me 0 dot
Sir, to 3, no? 10 dot
R1 to
0
R3.
R1 to RT. 10 dot 0 dot 13 dot 3.
It's a R1, my dear. This is R1 dot 1 will be there.
13.1. 13.1.
Okay, okay.
Okay, because this is the R1. Practice it.
Yeah.
Okay, you will practice. Will be okay. We have third interface. That's the serial one. Okay, that's the 0/1 slide. So give the IP. Now serial one connected. Let me give the description so that whenever we will see, we will remember description. Connect to R2. Let's connect to R2. Now you give the IP address. What will be the IP address? Tell me.
10.0.12.1.
Excellent. 12.1 because the R1, right?
Yes.
5 dot to 5 dot. You can see by the nomenclature it will be the unique IP, and you should not remember. You can assign IP. This is the benefit of the nomenclature. That's why we follow that. Okay. Now we have to verify. So I feel we have done with them. Please practice this by yourself twice, thrice. Then only you will be comfortable. Okay, clear? You understand? So
Yes.
this, by looking on interface, I can see this is connected to serial, connected to the routers, and the gig connected to router 3. This is connected, and by looking on IP you can say that or not, tell me.
Yes, we can say that.
And
Yes.
looking on IP, that's the benefit. Once will be, my lab will be bigger, by looking on IP only you can able to do that. The concept, understanding the concept is more important rather than, so if you take any random IP, you can say that I can take any random IP, but you cannot correlate your objective, what you want to do, right? Jitendra? Jitendra, are you understanding this part?
Yes,
Okay,
Ajit. Yes.
relevant. Okay, now to first raw R1 is configured with the IP address only. Okay, we are doing only the first part, and we will see they are connected with the IP. They are able to
Hello.
ping to each other. Okay, yes,
Hello?
questions? Yeah. Hello.
Sometime your voice is going out also, so we can't hear anything. Sometime.
Aha. Okay, so uh, let me being a little bit more closure of this. Okay, now you are able to hear me proper.
Yes,
Sometime
yes.
you
Yeah,
lost
yes,
that.
sir.
Fine, I will take care about that. Okay, now here enable you can write complete word or you can do en also. So from this user mode you're going to go into the privilege mode. User mode having greater than symbol and privilege mode having what? Hash symbol.
Hash.
Yes, excellent. Now you have done conf t configuration terminal. Enter, you will go in to the configuration mode. So you have user mode or enable mode, then privilege mode, then configuration mode. Okay, in configuration mode you're going to configure. So if you want to do any command of the that's a hash mode, that's a privilege mode, to run into the any other mode, you have to use do. So you have to use do keyword in front of that. So IP interface brief is the actual command. Because I'm using this command in the configuration mode, so I will use as a key prefix as a do, otherwise it will not work. Okay, clear? If I'm going to use this in privilege mode, so I should not use any do keyword. I can use my command directly. So IP interface output. So whenever you are other than privilege mode or enable mode, you have to do keyword with the same command. Okay, the output. Now I can see here all the interface are up, but there is no IP configured yet. So let's do the configuration quickly without wasting time here. So I have gig 0/0. So one by one I'm going to ask you. You have to take participate. Give me Jiten, what will be the IP for the gig slash 0 is connected to the LAN 21.
It's a
What will
LAN, so 192.168 dot 1 dot
no
uh,
no this is a
no
21 LAN
21 1 dot 20 no
1.1 because
21
it's
no
the
no
gateway
okay
always one,
yeah right.
always one. This is my gateway, it's not depend on router. The subnet will be depend upon.
Okay,
Okay,
yes, understand.
okay. So here now next I have interface 0/1 this time you going to tell me this is the LAN 22, so what will be the IP?
Sir, LAN 22
Yes,
198.168.22.1.
Good.
excellent. Guys are now understanding. Please do this practice. Well, if you see I'm doing very easy because it will look very easy while I'm doing. Once you will start doing, you will find lots of challenge. Because I have 15 years of experience by looking. Okay, mistakes. What I right? Please practice. Do these are the video game I'm telling. Now we have configured gig 0/0 0/1. We have next interface serial that's configure interface 0/0. Okay, see this is up configure. This is serial connected to the router 1 serial. So this time I'm expecting this from Jitendra. What will be my IP for serial connected R1
10 dot
in dot?
0 dot this is the 21 2 3 right 23.2
No, it's connected R1. You have to take
R1.
12. Always smaller because you
Okay.
already took the 12 for serial use. So 12.2.
12 to okay.
Okay, please practice.
Okay.
Now go for next interface we have pass Ethernet. Manmohan able to recall this or not. Manmohan, what IP I suppose?
Sir, from where to where?
This is
R2 to.
from R2 R3.
So it will be, sir, 10.0.23.1.
23.2
Sir, it's
because the
from 2, no?
R2.
From is R2 to R3, na, sir?
Yes, so 23.2 it's a WAN link. One always for the LAN because it's the gateway. Okay?
Yeah.
But here, because this is not a layer 3 interface, so you can see this is not going to accept IP because this is not a what layer 3 interface, not capable with the IP. See, it's error. Okay, so what I have to
Yes,
do, we have to it's create virtual interface for
Yes.
layer, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now let's understand. Let me do the virtual interface. I'm going to create interface. Give any name, VLAN. So I will give them between the R2 R3, right? Connectivity goes to between
R2 or 3.
R3. So I will give 23. What do you say? That's okay to remember because between the R2 and R3. Okay, interface this and then you give the IP address 10.0.23.2 because they are 255 dot, and we have to shut this virtual interface. And this virtual interface, as we have interface VLAN 23, we have to create layer 2 VLAN. What is the command of layer 2 VLAN to verify show VLAN? I can see we have default VLAN VLAN 1, but there is no VLAN 23. Are you guys understanding? Okay,
So yeah, yes. So
so
we
we
then
have to configure the VLAN layer 2. We have to configure VLAN layer 2 that I'm able to do or not. Let's do VLAN 23. This is layer 2. It's not an interface. I use the VLAN 23 only. It's sad. No, you cannot create it. The router cannot create the, what do you say? Layer 2.
switch.
This is not a switch. Then how do I connect? So we have fast Ethernet, means we have other provision, but there is a way to configure. Let's create in the VLAN, checking in privilege mode in the router 1941 series model. Always try to remember every router having different way to configure. So I'm creating VLAN 20 and it's giving error. So how, what will be the syntax? VLAN and question mark. What is syntax? Remember, this is a way to, I can punch this keyword in one shot, but you never remember, you will stuck. You each and every stuff. You, there's two way to VLAN configuration, VLAN database and the config mode. If it is not accepting your layer 2 configuration, the config mode, you have to create the dedicated database in the router as a special LAN. This is useful knowledge. This is useful knowledge, Jitendra. What do you say?
No, yes, perfect knowledge.
Yes. So VLAN database enter. Once you enter, now you came into the VLAN mode. Earlier you was in configuration mode. No one
Uh,
going to teach you this part. I'm telling you,
yeah,
this
right.
is very
So
important.
VLAN database is different for every like every models have different commands.
No, this feature will
Okay.
be on the almost every router, not each. In
Okay.
switch, I will show you. You can go in config mode and you can click VLAN XYG and it will work. But for the router case, you want to create layer 2 VLAN, you have to come into the VLAN mode. That's called VLAN database.
Okay.
Clear? They will give you the warning. What is the warning? Let's spare the quality time. It's recommended to configure VLAN from config mode as a VLAN database mode is being. Please consult your user documentation for the RTP. Means they are telling the most preferable, go to config mode and do that. But this is the router, this is not a hardcore switch. So here, this is deprecated style. That's a very old style. That's an outdated style. You can use instead of config mode, you are coming in VLAN mode. Create. Now you can punch your VLAN number, VLAN 23. Wow, now it's up, and the interface VLAN 23, they automatic identify that. And the interface is now up. You can see I have done anything. Just I have created the layer 2 VLAN 23 VLAN. Please practice, my dear. Okay, and you can see by default it took the name automate about the VLAN. Now I'm going to exit from the VLAN mode. Use the exit command. Apply completed. Applied complete. Always you remember you have to do exit. If you are not doing exit, it will not going to apply. What I want to tell you. Let me show you that. So I'm going to the VLAN database. Going to do the VLAN database. And I'm going to create VLAN 1, 2, 3 something, VLAN 1, 2, 3, anything I took. And after that I do enter. They told I have created this. I'm not going to do exit. I'm going to do Control Z. Let's check this VLAN is created or not. If you do Control Z, it will not create your VLAN 1, 2, 3. You have to see if this command is coming, apply completed by the exit command, then only your VLAN actually created. So how do I verify? Check the command show VLAN. You can see, oh god, it's created, but in real time it will not going to create. You will see the last VLAN whatsoever is going to deprecate. Okay, you guys comfortable till here?
Yes, sir. Also, what is the difference between internet VLAN 23 and only VLAN 23?
No, I just given you example. I'm going to
Okay.
remove this. Don't get confused here.
Okay.
Just I
Okay.
given you example other way how you, because in the first example we have done the exit keyword, so
Okay.
it's given the output like this. But the
Complete.
second example I just do the Control Z, it will not give you the output.
Okay. So it's not saved, right?
Yes,
You
it's not, database is not created.
created.
However,
Okay.
I'm going to delete the VLAN. How do you delete? You have to go the same way. VLAN database, then database, no VLAN. So you can see that. So and you have only one. Okay, now it is going to work. My interface is up, virtual interface is up, but it's not going to work because I have to pass my interface from where
That is
this
VLAN.
VLAN going to be associated. So
Yeah.
this is the my interface which is connected to R3. That's supposed to not come under the VLAN 1, it's supposed to come under the VLAN 20. Okay, let's
Yes.
do that. I'm telling you, you read how many videos or how many things. The what type today we're going to study this you will not find after the in your the VLAN database you have interface sorry yes interface pass it slash one slash okay. Now what I have to do, I have to say that this interface not belong to the default VLAN, it's belong to the dedicated VLAN. So that is command called switch port. Remember this command switch port mode access. What is the access mode? This interface going to be accessible for the user access mode. So we will have dedicated class for the two mode we have access and trunk. We will see access means only one VLAN, trunk means more than one VLAN. We will come to later that. So what is the access? Access means dedicated for one VLAN. So if it is access, so what is that dedicated VLAN? What is that dedicated VLAN? You have to mention switch port access
It's accessible.
and dedicated VLAN. What is that dedicated VLAN?
23.
23 VLAN. So as soon as you punch this command, your interface up, you can see that the VLAN interface changed. Let's see that. So IP brief, we can see my interface VLAN assigned with the one IP virtual, not a real. Okay. So we're going to move with the last router. After that, we will close our session and we will discuss and we're going to conclude this session. Okay. So let's quickly, this time I'm not going to waste my time. Let me do this here. So there is something called fast Ethernet Discover 2010 will omit the errors. What are the interface do we have? We have gig 3, gig 1, gig 2. Gig 1 connected LAN. So gig. So what we will do? Otherwise the time is already 10:12, right? So I'm going to stop here. For router 3 we will configure and we will see the challenges over here when we have only for the Ethernet switch. What do you say? The router having only the one more. So let me stop this. I'm going to continue in next class from the router 3 configuration and we will test the ping test. Then we'll the second part configure router as a DSC. Bye bye. See you in next class.